we now have a new group. And we travel the world. We leave Alkenstar City in the Mana Wastes between Geb to the south and Nex to the north. And we move to Absalom on the Isle of Kortos. Absalom, the city that is a metropolis of people and ancestries, both the rich and the poor, and the villain point comes in.
No!
Just watch it. It's cool. Look at it.
Oh.
Yes!
It's cool. There we go. And he has his villain point.
Now I have it. I feel better.
That's so worth the doom that's coming.
Right?
But he's working on stuff like that for the hero points too.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we're gonna have some
Remind me,
cool
Evelyn,
shit.
I do need to take that in, and I need to reduce the size of it and switch it to a WebP because it does run a little slow right now.
Okay,
But that's fine.
that's the fire part.
Yeah, the fire
The
part.
flames. You got it. I will try to remember that.
And you see, my little points fire so that I can explode and use it. Anyways, Absalom, as I was saying, a city of ancestry of both the rich and the poor, the socialites. Yeah, it's fixed. It's fixed right there. Had you seen the pre-show, you would have seen it too. Pat draws.
He's not talking about the logo.
What's he talking about?
Wick mentioned something else, but he didn't say exactly what it was.
Oh, the gears behind me? Oh, no, I've left those. That's just a generic background. And so, before we begin, I am going to allow our players to introduce their characters only with as much information as they wish to give at this point, because we will learn more. Why did everybody freeze?
I was gonna say, everyone's frozen, but you're still moving.
Zoom's been having that problem lately, it seems like.
Yeah. Eric's back moving. Damn you.
Don is back.
I'm back.
And
I'm back.
Robert's back. There we go.
Woohoo!
It does.
Yeah,
treat
it really
us-
does.
Yeah, it's oddest times. Drives me
And it
crazy.
always is like one person has the weirdest face and everyone else looks kind of normal. That's how it always goes.
So we're just gonna randomly make faces on the odd chance that we catch one of those.
Yeah.
Gorak has not died yet.
We haven't even gotten through the introduction yet.
So I'm going to allow
There's
my
still
players
time.
to introduce themselves and introduce their characters. And we shall begin in the top left of our screen with Evelyn.
Hello, I'm Evelyn. If you don't know who I am, you must be new here. I'm always here. I'm married to that dungeon guide. I also helped him start this channel. So yeah. And I am playing Neri. She is a catfolk fighter. She's a member of the Grey Cloaks, the guard for the Ascendant Court in Absalom. If you don't know what that is where the Starstone is kept, where people make their aspirations to become deities and try to get a hold of the Starstone to go through the trials. So she kind of tries to keep people who shouldn't be making those sorts of aspirations from killing themselves senselessly. And one of the big things is they are not religious, because you can't be religious and be a Grey Cloak. Yes, and so she's a fairly junior member of the guard. She tends to be on the night watch, as she is a cat and prefers the nighttime. And she has been tasked with a few things to keep herself working for her leader of the guard, as she goes out and ventures forth from her typical post. Oh, and yeah, I think I said I'm a fighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're
Oh.
muted, hun. I see your lips moving.
We roll on down to below Evelyn.
His
With
lips are moving.
Don.
His lips are moving.
I am Don. I'm here Monday nights now. Well, been here Monday nights, and I don't know where else you find me. Random places, Mad Wizard. I also built Tales Tavern, and I do random stuff. I don't know. I am playing Gorak. He is an orc, life oracle, originally from the Deadeye clan, but he has been sort of self-exiled before they could exile him. He is covered in many scars, as they do in their clan. And he is basically out in search of something different than his past. A little bit more power, not power for him, but to learn more about the powers that he has reached within him, and trying to help others. He's a softer, gentler orc, which does not take a whole lot, considering most orcs are neither soft nor gentle. And I don't know, that's probably a good start with him. There you go.
All right. We'll roll to our top right, and we continue with Robert.
Hi, so I am Robert, Phantom NJ. You can find me here, obviously, every Monday night and hang out in the Discord as well. You can also find me in other places, but in the sake of time, we'll talk about that later. I am playing Marcus. Marcus is a human champion of Seren Ray. He is not only is he human, he is of Azamir heritage, which can be told by the somewhat golden streaks through his brown hair, as well as his golden eyes. His family is, his mother and his sister and him came to Absalom to see about his sister joining the priesthood. And it was while they were there that Last Wall fell. And at the time of Last Wall having fallen, things happened. We'll get to that in a bit. Don't have to give out everything right away. But in any case, he ended up joining the church. It is some 4 years later, after Last Wall having fallen, and he is in service to the priesthood as one of their champions.
And finally, we rotate down to the bottom right with Eric.
Hi guys, my name is Eric. You can find me at a game store in Alabama called Gamer Geeks, as well as the streams we do on our own channel, which is Gamer Geeks Warrior. Tonight, and for the Monday night's games, I will be playing a halfling bard named Beck Tudor. Beck is a child of tragedy and circumstance, followed by the goddess of innocence, the Grandmother Crow. He is a bit childish, naive, and his ideals can be boiled down to there are no evil people, just good people who do bad things, be it through whatever may be in their life. He is an endless source of forgiveness and hope and luck. And time will tell if this ideal will drive him to insanity, or maybe he's right and everyone can be saved.
Apparently, Beck is Marcus's brother from a halfling mother. I'm not sure. Because, damn.
So this is our new foursome. Down from 5, which is absolutely no problems at all. Our group will be starting at level 2, which is very different from any of the other ones that I have run in the past. I chose level 2 mainly so that they could get their free archetype right away, as well as it allows them to have known each other for at least a level. So the group is not unfamiliar with each other. They have at least acquaintance type connections with each other. And that's important. Because it's always nice to start a story when they already know each other.
Right?
Now, for those of you that don't know, you can continue to follow our story along at our Legend Keeper link. I bet Wick hasn't made a Legend Keeper link yet for this one, has he? Evelyn, do you know?
I don't believe I saw one. The only thing I saw in Moobot was the old wiki for World Anvil for when we had originally set that up.
Right.
So I did not see any commands for Legend Keeper yet.
Well, the good news is that I have that link.
We can make them.
Post it now. Some of our players are still filling out information, so give them time. And more information will be added in each week as the story grows. So if you want to keep up with what's going on, as we meet NPCs, as they continue through their journeys, that is the place that you're going to want to go. Of course, most everybody that I've seen so far chatting is already in our Discord, the best place to talk with us. I didn't mention this to the group here, but after tonight's show, I will be jumping in our Discord like we used to and chat with anybody that wishes to talk a little bit about the session or about the group and where it's going. Players, you are more than welcome to join as well if you are available.
Yeah.
And then, of course, tomorrow night, we have our second session 1 of the week. Make sure you pop in here. Sky King's Tomb begins. Eric and Evelyn are a part of that group, along with Alexis and
Pat.
Thank you. So make sure you pop over there for another New Beginning, but it won't be called New Beginning. It'll have a different title. The End.
Newest.
That's what it'll be called.
The start of those guys over there.
So let's begin. You all have made your way to Absalom in one way or another. Evelyn, no,
yes.
Not Evelyn. I'm trying to think. I'm going back through my noggin notes, as I like to think about them. Don Gorak is not from here, correct?
Correct.
So Gorak, and we'll find out later where we don't need to find out right now, but Gorak is not a native to Absalom. Marcus is kind of a native to Absalom, not born here, right, Marcus?
Yeah, no, he's technically in exile.
Yeah.
He's been here for 4 years now.
Okay. We'll get in more to that later. Beck, I don't remember. Are you a native?
No.
Okay.
But we've been here for a minute.
Yeah. And then Neri, still developing that, right?
No, she's from Absalom. That was actually, yeah, she's from Eastgate originally. She lives in the Green Ridge neighborhood because her family is one of the farming families in the Green Ridge.
Okay. Now, for those that don't know, Absalom is broken up into a variety of districts. If you ever get a chance to look at the map, which it is a very large map, you'll see that Absalom includes places like the Coins, the Docks, the Foreign Quarter, the Precipice Quarter, Westgate, Undercity. But our story begins in the Puddles. Now, what you need to know about the Puddles is the Puddles district is exactly as it sounds. A district that is oftentimes flooded. It is the poor, the ne'er-do-wells, the district watch for the Puddles are known as the Muckruckers. The current captain of the watch is Hagen Topkick, who additionally is the sole member of the district council. He fancies himself a dictator of sorts. My friends, you have actually been called by Hagen to a meeting at the Stilt House. The Stilt House is the headquarters of the Puddles. And as you make your way through, you can see the grime, the dirt, the water. You pass by buildings that have fallen down. Other buildings people are living in with standing water on the first floor. The Stilt House, unlike the rest of the surrounding waterlogged wooden architecture of the Puddles, is a solid, maintained, and generally dry structure. It's got long, stilted legs that kind of keep the building above high tide, and a floating stairway adjusts to the flooding level. There's a dock off the side of the building that accepts shipments from boats able to paddle through the district at high tide. As I said, serving as the headquarters for the district council, the muckruckers, and the Salvagers Guild. A note on the Salvagers Guild is that the Salvagers Guild is also run by the one and the only man of the Puddles, Hagen Topkick. So you can see where this area is really not too well off. Now, each of you will know, as you would have heard, that there are others within the Puddles fighting for leadership, I guess would be the best way to put it. One of those is a goblin by the name of Zuskut, who currently runs the Goblin King's Court. Also has one of the best names within the game. Another one that originally gave trouble to Hagen, but not so much these days, is the proprietor, I would say would be the best way of putting it, of the Brine. And the Brine is a private prison in the southernmost section of the Puddles. Lady Setchia of House Tevineg runs the Brine. Needless to say, her and Hagen don't necessarily get along, as she wishes for as much power as he has. Now, as I said, you made your way to the Stilt House. As you arrive, you see a couple muckruckers standing there at the doors. Muckruckers are, I would not call them the best watch within all the districts. And of course, Neri, you would know this. They stand there almost carefree compared to ones in other districts. As you make your way up the floating steps, one of them looks at you. Good day. Who are you?
Good day, sir. My name is Marcus, and I am here to see Master Topkick.
He pulls out a piece of paper, looks through. All right, Marcus Andratus. Is that your name?
That is my name, yes. Well done.
The other three with you? They are.
Sorry, I was off in another world. Where are we? What is this? This house is walking. It's on stilts.
What is your name?
Oh no, sorry, I'm Beck. Beck and I, Douglas Tutor. I'm here because, well, I suppose I want to be.
He looks at the sheet. All right.
I'm Gorak. I am with my friend here. I am here for the same reason.
Are dogs allowed inside?
No.
Okay. I pull off my hat, and the dog next to me, I just kind of shove him in the hat using pet cash. I put it back on my head.
Are you, Neri, wearing anything that shows your status with?
Oh yeah, she's.
Okay.
I mean, that's what she wears.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks at you. Kind of sneers. One of you.
It's unofficial business, you see. I am here with my friends. But you would not know how to deal with separating business from whatever this is, would you?
Right at your feet.
Adding more muck to the sludge does not hurt my feelings any.
What's your name?
Neri.
He looks back at the piece of paper, marks it off, each of them. All right. You're expected. Follow me. He opens the door and you make your way in. Most business in the district, criminal or otherwise, runs through the Stilt House. Hagen is a watchful eye over everything that happens within the Puddles. And you know that a lot of this is due to corruption. Many have tried to flee the Puddles, but without money and without a name, it's very difficult to do. Once you have become a part of the Puddles, you tend to stay a part of the Puddles. And new people continue to come in, as it is the easiest way to become part of the city of Absalom. As you walk through the halls, you realize that this is probably the nicest building in the Puddles. Not
Well, this is lovely.
Not luxurious, as you might see in some of the other quarters, especially things like the Ivy District or the Petal District, but there has been some care taken to it to keep it dry and to keep it decorated. You walk through the main hall, following the muckraker. You make a slight right, and you go up a set of stairs. As you come to the top, in front are two double doors. Giant compared to much of the other building, almost 10 feet tall. And the wood is carved ornately. The muckraker goes up to the door and knocks. He hears, "Come in." And he opens the door and motions for the four of you to enter. Hagen
Not-
stands. Oh, go ahead.
Not fully intentionally, but maybe a little bit. Beck is slapping his wet feet on the floor and kind of a dance. Just kind of vibing, having a little bit of fun.
A dance, all right. Anybody else doing anything that we need to know about?
Gorax just keeps an eye out. He's literally watching around the rooms, the halls as they're walking. Particularly at an eye, noticing this place obviously kept in better shape than a lot of the other, places down here. And, his raises an eyebrow at times, just in thoughts. I won't share them all now, but carefully keeping an eye watch.
Marcus's eyes are moving about, but there's a almost permanent smile plastered on his face.
Bex is too, but he's kind of looking at a feather that's drifting through the window.
All right. Standing before you is a skinny, kind of gaunt-looking fellow. He's dressed in a decent suit with a small little pin on his left jacket pocket. Yes, indeed. It is good to see you. I was wondering when you were going to arrive. Come in. That will be all. As he motions to the muckraker that he has done with him. Come. Sit. And he motions you over to an area. There's a couch and a couple of armchairs right next to a fireplace. Sit. Take a seat, please.
Neri will not sit.
Beck sits immediately, but bounces on the cushions. He's like, "Oh, these are plush. Oh, proper
Marcus,
fancy it is in here."
Marcus goes over to one of the armchairs, takes the shield off his back, puts it at the side, and sits down and has one arm kind of leaning on the top of the shield and partially on the armrest. Smile still on his face. A big goofy smile.
Gorak will sit down. He lowers himself slowly in the cushions, just sort of settling in. Once again, noticing that these are, a little softer than everything else around here. Not bad.
I'm glad you appreciate it. I'm delighted that you took care to answer with your attendance here the missive that I sent you. I've had my ear to the ground for some time. I don't know how much you all have traveled in the Puddles, but times are tough. We make
There's
do
water
out.
everywhere.
Yes, indeed.
Someone should really do something about that.
Nature has its way. Regardless, understand that I run a fairly tight ship here. The people get what they need to survive, and we do what we can. We, of course, don't have the means of the other districts, nor do we have the might that would help us raise our status. But we do make sure that we take care of our own. We've had some issues as of recent.
Is it about the water?
Beyond the water.
Right?
Bodies. Dead bodies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
No, not good at all.
The guard here are oh, how do I put it? Not the brightest. We tend to get those that fail out of such esteemed groups such as the Grey Cloaks. And he looks right at you, Neri. Unfortunately, though that they can take care of the basic ruffian and bandit, when it comes to something a bit more devious, they don't quite have the knowledge or wherewithal to be able to solve major crimes. And so I thought I would reach out to those from other places who, of course, would be compensated to maybe have a look at things. Now, my firm belief is it has something to do with the self-proclaimed Goblin King, who has decided to make a name for himself in the Puddles. Goblin King of Absalom. Comical, is it not?
Hilarious.
I didn't know Absalom had a king at all.
Eh.
Sure would like to meet him.
Well, you
I
may.
don't think he's really king.
Marcus just raises an eyebrow.
Regardless, if you would be able to solve this little crime, find out exactly what is happening or has happened and why, as I said, you will be compensated. And we could talk further gifts if need be.
Where's the
Such
victim?
funds you have.
Come again.
Is it such great funds you have to offer us?
The funds? The funding?
Yes, money coin. Such coin you have to offer us to pay. Yet your own guard cannot be trained to do this with such monies.
You're right, Neri. We should do this for free. A good deed needs no compensation. Right?
Well, that would be brilliant. A good deed. I had not quite thought of it that way. Thank you, Beck, for bringing that up.
Of course. Anything to help the Absalom and the Puddles as a whole. I mean, we'd be right proper evil not to do something.
Is that all right
Yes.
with the rest of you?
It would be a strange thing to just sit on money and keep it for oneself and not take care of the citizens of this area, wouldn't it?
No, we'd take care of our citizens here. Make sure that they have food and drink, that their lives have meaning.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't have need for the funds, but it would not be bad to help, and if you have spare, I could use it for helping those around.
Look, if it would make you feel better, we could donate it to the Pure Water Home.
I don't think this district needs any more water.
No, it's an orphanage.
Of water?
No, an orphanage of children.
Oh.
I think
The
that's
Donation.
the
A
name.
donation to the orphanage would be quite acceptable.
Right, yeah. No, I'm down for that.
It's run by a woman named Hope. She does wonderful work there. I would be more than happy to give them additional funds to bring the children in an even better life than they already have.
Right, well, so where should we start with this Goblin King? Does he have like a castle or like a big beanstalk or something?
That's giant.
He does. He
A
has
beanstalk?
not a beanstalk. He has a. Well, I guess he has a court.
Like for basketball?
I don't know what this basketball is, but
You
no,
throw balls into a basket.
interesting. People do this willingly?
Oh yeah, it's a great fun.
Oh, no. Fly by Stu, it may be, but this guy, he has no idea what basketball is. That is not in his wheelhouse. Well, no, it is a headquarters, I guess, would be the best way to put it. Not a place for, what did you say, basketball?
Oh yeah, all right, I understand now.
Additionally, I know that the Soggy Piper, some of those that are close to the Goblin King, spend some time there, so it may be another place to begin the search. Either of them, I believe, may be helpful, but I'll allow to you to choose whichever works best. I will note that once you're at the Goblin King's court, though, you may want to grab a local delicacy. They're called brine water pickles. They're very good.
Did the water come from the prison?
No.
I have a question. How do you know these deaths are tied to the Goblin King, or what ties it there?
I don't have anything solid that ties Zuska to these deaths, but I will say that since he's been here, they began. Before he was here, they were not.
Has he told us who died? Who was killed?
No, he hasn't said specifically, no.
Yeah, we've got any details on the deaths.
Okay. I was like worried that I like spaced out or something. So who is it that was killed, and may we see the body?
Before I continue, Robert, I just want to say that I immediately thought, who died? Akita, Evita. Yeah. So you would get that, and that's why I had to bring it up. Well, they are commoners within the Puddles. Nobody of importance, I would say.
How many have died?
In the past several months, it's been something like 13, 14.
Oh, that's terrible.
On your way out, speak with one of the muckruckers. They might have a bit of information regarding it, but they've been less than talkative. All I've been able to get from them is that they're not sure where exactly the killings are happening, for when they find the bodies, they have indeed been moved.
To one place, or
No, multiple places throughout the Puddles.
What hurt them? Was it spells or something physical?
It's physical. Gashes upon their body. You can see where the blood has been drained.
That's right, proper terrible.
Agreed.
As you say gashes, Gorak reaches up and you can see his hand just sort of running up and down his lower forearm.
Yes. Hope they did not suffer long.
So, where are the places you said we should check out again?
Well, the Soggy Piper, it's a tavern of sorts. And then, of course, there's the Goblin King's Court.
Guess we have a task.
Does seem that way.
Now, a note from where you all are currently, the Soggy Piper would be slightly closer. I wouldn't call it extremely closer, but it'd be slightly closer. And it would be in the northeast of the city. And then the Goblin King's Court is going to be in the towards the northwest of the city. Right now, you're on the eastern side at the docks. That's where the Stilt House is.
All right. Well, I suppose we should get some information. Soggy Piper?
Yes, should we talk to the muckruckers downstairs first?
I thought we just did talk to a muckrucker.
But he said they may have other information.
Then another muckrucker. Strange.
Is there anything else that I can do for you before you head out?
Oh, sorry, I don't think any of us ever got your name.
It would have been in the letter that was sent to you, but my name is Hagen Topkick.
Ah, gotcha.
Yes.
I didn't know if you were the one who sent the letter or the one that they just wanted us to meet with in the letter. I only read half of it, to be honest.
He's the nomarch of this area as well as the captain of the guard.
If he's the nomarch, is there a yes mark?
No. Beck.
He kind of steps over to you, Marcus. Kind of leans into you. And kind of under his breath so his Beck doesn't hear. My understanding is that you are familiar with that one over there, but I fear he may not be super helpful within this search. So if you need to lose him on the way, I have no problems with that.
Good to know. He gives him a smile.
Well then, if that will be all, my friends, take care, and I look forward to hearing from you.
We look forward to having some answers.
All right, let's do it! To the muckruckers!
So Beck, do you rush out then?
Oh.
Beck?
He just
I
froze.
think he might have frozen. We might have lost Eric.
Okay, so it's not me this time.
No.
No, I think
I was like,
it's-
wait, is he moving? He's not
He
moving.
got
we lost
so
Eric.
excited
ran
that
out.
It got quiet for a moment.
he ran out.
That's
and
the only
then
way it gets
frozen.
quiet.
so you all see as Beck runs out the door. Neri, what are you doing?
He lost power, it looks like.
So Neri, up on hearing this guy call them friends, her tail starts to kind of swipe back and forth as cats do when they're annoyed. And she just kind of gives him a shallow nod and makes her exit, following the very quickly retreating Beck.
All right, give me 1 second while I get a
Placeholder
for our very, very dear friend.
Mark gets up slowly and will follow. He's trying to keep an eye out. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he's watching Beck as well. He moved a little too fast, so he would have like put his hand on his shoulder and tried to slow him down.
So you make your way out, and as you kind of head back the way that you come, the two Monk Rucker guards are still standing at the front door. They look at you, they nod.
Barak will walk up to one of them, I guess, I don't know, pick the one that asked his name, and sort of turn and face him, and we are looking apparently for information. We heard you might know more about the deaths that have happened over the past few months.
Yeah, I know that Mr. Topkick believes it was or is the Goblin King, but though we haven't been able to fully solve them, there's been talk amongst the guard. We believe, and he kind of leans in and looks around to make sure nobody else is around. It may be the work of the Skin Saw cult.
Oh. Well, what makes you think that?
There's been talk that they've set up camp in Razor Hall.
So question.
Yep.
Would Neri have seen, because they constantly watch the Black Mask in the Ascendant Court, would the Rune Wolf or Neri have noticed any activity picking up in the Black Mask as of late, since that tends to be the case that aligns with Skinsaw activity?
So, no, not picked up there.
Interesting.
But you would have probably heard inklings that they've begun moving into multiple locations. You would know. Give me a society check.
Society.
Yeah.
Okay, let me break up my sheet real quick. 1 sec. Skills. How am I not trained in society?
That blows my mind.
Let me double check my path builder.
All right.
Because I may have forgotten to.
And everybody else can actually give me a society check on this. Because just to see what you would have heard. Getting Eric back in.
Okay, 1 moment. Level 2.
We like to call him Eric 2 around here.
Yeah, no, I did not train in society for yet.
I didn't either, but I got a 19, so
that works.
So in the future, I should have
good.
said it. This should have been a private roll, but I appreciate Marcus. Your natty 1 is a good start to the game.
Well,
Getting
I
that
think-
out of the way early.
Ugh, everything blew up over here. Power's gone. What are we
Neri,
doing
only
with-
because everybody else rolled openly, I will let you know that you rolled a natty one as well.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Wow.
So you wouldn't know, or what you heard is not a ton of information, but
Right.
Beck, through the grapevine, has heard.
Because hasn't rolled yet.
Beck Tudor rolled, yeah. Oh wait a minute, he rolled.
That's
3d20?
14. That's 14
No.
days ago. That's 2
Sorry.
weeks ago during our session
Oh.
0 when he was
Roll
playing around with the
Society.
dice.
Never mind. Roll Society. I just looked. I was like, oh wait a minute.
I know.
So-
I saw. I rolled a 25. I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. Wait, that's 3d20. Wait.
Yeah, real bad. So the power is off at the house for some reason, so that really sucks.
Are you on your phone?
I am.
And you're doing great.
Society with +0 rolling on Path Builder is 19.
All right. So 19. Okay, yeah. So both you and Gorak rolled a 19. So what you know about the Skin Salt cult is that they claim to be the oldest sect dedicated to Norgorber in the world. And kind of cult tradition states that two cutthroats were tossing a body into the Starstone Chasm the night after Norgorber's ascension, when they received a divine command to found the cult. Okay. So they're Norgberger cultists of a sort. The Skin Soul cult is known for heinous crimes. More heinous than any other group in Absalom. They're willing to assassinate every ranking member of any Absalom faction. So they're pretty vicious. And that is what you currently know about the Skin Soul.
Right. Oh, so that's proper bad.
Yeah, it is.
So
Well, should we head to the Soggy Piper and maybe we can get some information, maybe something that will let us know for sure which way it is.
absolutely.
Uh,
Taverns are the best place to get any information.
I'd be more reliable than that corrupt bastard back there, after all.
You don't like him?
He tends to take money under the table for very unscrupulous things.
Well, I did notice it's nicer there than elsewhere down here.
Indeed.
I mean, they're
Those who
building.
live on the backs of the
Ooh,
poor.
hey. Power's
So-
back. Woo! Everything's looking up.
Well, there goes my chance to kill off Beck before he even gets started.
No.
Irish back, roll initiative. There we go.
Quick.
Suddenly, a black drake lands directly on Beck's head.
Hey, friend. Ah!
Poor dog.
So you all make your way to the Soggy Piper, and I bring you to a map.
A map.
Woohoo! We get a
We
map.
exist!
First map.
We get a map. We get a map.
Look at us.
Oh,
Look
I'm
at
sorry.
us.
Loading in. Ah.
Oh, and look at their dog.
What a handsome lad.
The
What a
dog, which
handsome
is
lad.
definitely larger than the person.
That's the point, isn't it? He's a riding dog.
I couldn't ride him if he wasn't.
Valid point. Hit that button early. So you stand outside the Soggy Piper. You look at it, and I mean, it's a good name for the place. It's a tavern.
And it's
Sits
damp.
near the uprise known as Torson's Maw, which kind of overlooks the harbor. It is known to be a place of getting a drink without getting bothered.
Oracle looking back like, you might want to tone it down a little bit here.
Shall we then?
I suppose.
After you. And Marcus open the door for everyone.
Oh,
Neri keeps her hand rested on the pommel of her blade at her hip.
Thank you, Marcus.
Of course, my friend.
as you enter in, you see several people at different tables. The place is a wreck, a disaster, a place of filth. The table boards are broken. The floorboards creak as you walk in. There's food. Some of it looks edible. Behind the bar stands a man. Old. You can tell just by looking at him. Gray, wispy hair. Balding on top. Gorak, what do you do?
Gorak looks as he walks in. He'll, glance back, make sure that, Beck isn't being too loud and obnoxious here. And might as well go to the bar because, we can see if the bartender can lead us the right direction. So he will slowly walk up to the bar. He's, once again, as he walks, he sort of eyes each of the tables briefly just to get a feel for the room. But he looks fairly comfortable, even though the place is pretty beat up. He's obviously seen worse and seen places that are, much worse off than this. So not too uncomfortable, even though it's a little beat up and place. And he will just head on up and take a seat at one of the bar stools.
Good evening. Good afternoon, whatever it is. I don't know what time it is.
Well, according to the calendar, it's about 2:02 p.m.
Two.
Clock on the wall said 2 o'clock.
Good afternoon.
What can I get for you?
A drink would be nice. Have not been in here before.
All right. We can make that happen. No problem at all. He reaches under the bar, grabs a glass that you can readily tell is probably not the cleanest, but probably not the dirtiest either. Sets it on the counter. There'll be 1 copper.
Oh, good, sir. Thank you.
He'll slide over 3 coppers.
He looks at you. Eyebrow raised. Very quickly grabs your glass, takes it, dumps it out on the floor behind him. One moment. He pulls out a new glass. This one, you can tell is clean. Pours it in a new drink and hands it to you. Right by you.
Thank you. my friends want something, you can get them something too.
I don't drink when I'm on duty. I'm always on duty.
Oh. So, you worked here a long time?
He looks over your shoulder. What the hell is that doing in here?
Oh,
But the
let's just
halfling,
Yeah, he's gonna look at the halfling, the dog, the cat.
we're just playing it off the halfling. He follows us around.
All right. So, any of y'all other people need a drink? I can get one for you.
Do you have any milk?
No.
I don't need a drink, thank you.
Marcus looks at him and says, I'll take an ale. And he puts out 3 coppers as well.
Oh. Another clean glass gets set upon the bar. He pours it, sets it in front of you. This is some of the finest ale in the Puddles, made with some of the best seawater around. And when you drink it, you do notice there is a tinge of saltiness.
Oh, no, Marcus doesn't actually drink it. He's just fine, doesn't want to be rude.
Does Gorak drink it?
Gorak will drink it.
You taste just a tinge of saltiness within the brew.
Not bad, not bad.
Gorak will sort of lean over the bar a little bit towards him and like,
We are looking for some information and thought either you might be able to help us or might know someone here that could. We are trying to get information about some of the deaths that have occurred around here.
He leans into you, looks at your clothing, looks at Neri's clothing, turns back to you, Gorak. You know you're in the Puddles, right? You're not in one of those other districts. You're not in the Ascendant Court.
I know. I think I actually like it here better than there. It's a little more home and a little more place we can do some good.
He looks at you again. Asking questions like this could get you hurt.
Yeah.
he sort of leans in and sort of scratches along the scars along his brow and along his cheeks.
This wouldn't be the first time.
All right. Well, what exactly are you trying to learn about?
Well,
You say the murders, but there's lots of murders here in the Puddles.
there's lots of rumors about different people that may be, I don't want to say involved, but connected, or at least some people think they might be, and we're trying to clear it up. And some thoughts about, he sort of looks around, possibly some cult members, possibly something connected to Zusgut, but I don't know who, and we just want to find out who it is and clear the names of those who are not involved.
Trying to do a bit of do-gooding. Is that my understanding? And he kind of guffaws at that.
Sort of.
Mm.
Yes, that's the way you want to put it, but I know people that have suffered, and it's only fair that they get someone to look out for them, too.
Look, I don't know about the self-proclaimed Goblin King, what he's up to or what he's trying to do. I've heard about the deaths. I've talked with people who have been affected by it. But it is the Puddles. That happens. It's home to runaways, to crooks, revolutionaries, people in hiding. I'm just not sure. Trying to solve anything with that's gonna bring about anything. Who do you work for, anyways? Who sent you on this little mission?
Well, Higgin Topkick told us it needed looking into. Don't know about him in particular.
And he sort of glances over at Neri, knowing that Neri doesn't like the guy at all.
Mm.
That aside, what's going on? We feel a need to do something.
Well, I don't have much information to give you. I can feed you good ale. I can make sure that you're well fed. Ain't nobody recently come in talking about the murders except for you. So I can't be saying it was one of the Goblin King's crew. Now, mind you, some of his people do come in from time to time.
Any of them here now?
Sort of glances around the room.
Nah, right now you've got Boils over there devouring a bowl of slop. And Boldo, who's going a little crazy, and of course, Yargo Gill. But other than that, nobody of import. I can keep my ear out. Maybe send information your way.
We'd appreciate that.
He'll reach into his pocket and so take off 5 more copper and put it down.
All right, you got some money. I appreciate it.
It's only fair that you're doing something for us. Help you out.
Before you leave, I do have to warn you. The area's not too safe for strangers, especially dressed as nice as. And he'll look at Neri and he'll look at Marcus. That's the group of you all, so just be aware of that.
Thank you. We'll keep an eye out.
When you travel around the Puddles, you may want to dress down a bit.
Muddy up the robe's fine.
Oh.
He nods at you.
So real quick for those whose power went out, what was the cult's what was the cult's name again? So I can put that in my notes.
Skin saw.
The Skin Saw cult.
Skin saw.
And they were a cult of what again?
They follow Norgriver.
Norgriver. Thank you.
And they've slowly set up camp in Razor Hill. Or is
Razor
he setting up
Hall.
some camp? Razor Hall. Oh, that's what I wrote. I just read it wrong. Should we talk to anyone else here? No, he looks back at the group. That's what he's talking to now. Pointing at the three that he named. I assume they're the ones that are not Mark Commoner.
Correct. Correct.
Does anyone seem to be? We're not exactly being overly quiet about it. Does anyone seem to be taking a particular interest?
In what you're saying, no. As you kind of look around, Boldo rank, this one right here, he seems to be kind of muttering to himself, a beer in one hand and a knife in the other. Boldo, or not Boldo, I'm sorry, Boils, which is this one right here. As I kind of said, he's kind of devouring a bowl of something. What it is exactly, you're not sure. He looks a little fidgety, kind of ragged, stringy hair, dressed in rags, that sort of thing. And then Yargos over here, he appears to be better off than most everybody else in here. He's older, dressed not terribly. But not much else could be pulled from that.
Okay.
Beck, noticing a gentleman who seems to be in some form of distress, is going to walk over to the gentleman named Bulgo with the knife. And Beck is not a man of subtlety, and he just taps him on the shoulder. Hey there, friend! You're looking a little stressed. Are you all right?
And so as you say that, as I said, he's got a knife in one hand and he's kind of muttering to himself. You weren't able to necessarily pull out everything that he was saying, but he was talking. Some of the things that you kind of pulled out is carving, freshly finished. You heard things like art and warm bones. He looks at you. He's a half orc, not short, probably 6'2". Again, beer in one hand, knife in the other. What'd you say?
Oh, I was just in the bar and noticed you're not quite. You don't look quite so well. Are you all right, friend?
When you look at him, it looks like he's got a kind of filthy sculptor's smock on.
You in the middle of something? Are you working? I'm sorry if I interrupted you. I was just curious. I want to make sure you're all right.
No, I'm figuring out where to go, and I gotta carve him the figurehead. It said things about taking care of and making it so that others can. And then you gotta kind of freshly born bones and.
Yeah, I understand. So, so you're working on a project, right? Is this you taking? Of course it's not. And I'm gonna go take that chair across from him.
Of course you are.
So
Here, he's keeping the closest eye possible on Beck.
So what's got you stressed out, friend? You're working on a project. It looks like carving.
I'm an artist. I'm artist. I lost my muse, but it's coming back to me. It's taking some time, but I'll get back there. I just gotta I'm trying to figure out if I gotta follow the new muses, the muses. Yeah, the figurehead is a good idea. We could probably do it, but gonna take some working.
You saying you lost your muse, friend?
Mhm.
Wait, what happened there? You just
Yeah.
not feeling it at the moment? You lost your courage?
It happens sometimes.
Many would rather choke on their fear and reject it. It's better to push forward even if you don't know what you're gonna do.
So, we'll listen to the new muse.
Listen to any muse, yes, of course. Anything that makes you happy. And of course doesn't hurt other people. Art's about finding a way to tell a story, right? To a medium that people understand. Like mine's through music. I tell a tale through notes. And you're obviously a very skilled sculptor.
So I should get back at it then again.
Yeah. So, yes, you're absolutely getting back at it. What are you getting back at, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm a sculptor.
Well, yes, of course, but what are you sculpting?
I sculpt people. I sculpt animals. I sculpt anything that I see when possible.
What's your preferred medium? Do you do wood? Do you do marble?
But wood for many years. The
I can't help
warmth in it was amazing.
Of course. Well, I can't do much because art is its own journey. But here's a little ditty. Might inspire some courage in you. And I'm literally going to play a song called Inspire Courage. And he is going to sing. Can you see the sky so blue when peace is found and friends are too? So gather round and cheer with me until you start to smile. For there's friendship, and he'll just go on and about friendship and kindness for like a little too long. Maybe annoying some other patrons.
All right. I'm going to get back to it then.
Absolutely.
Thank you, friend. What was your name?
My name's Beck Tutor. And your name was Bulko, right?
Yeah. Boldo Drink.
Bulko Drink. Awesome. Well, I'll be keeping an eye out for your next sculpture, all right?
Thank you. And he sets down his drink, as you can see that there's now inspiration within him. And he immediately heads out the door.
Beck's just gonna shoot Neri a wide smile. All right, well, I didn't learn anything about anything, but I made a guy's day better, so that's worth something, right? I kind of forgot why I went over there, but
You're lucky you didn't end up with that knife in your side, Beck.
oh no, he wouldn't have done that. He seemed like a kind lad. Just needed a bit of help.
You
Marcus.
are far too trusting.
Look, I don't know if kindness is going to change the world in any meaningful way, but why not try it?
And from the bar, you hear Marcus say, "You're here."
Oh. Okay. I just realized Gorak never introduced himself, so he will reach out his hand to the bartender and
Thank you. My name is Gorak, and what is your name, so I know?
Well, call me Yemlo. Been here 40 plus years running this place.
Well, I appreciate you keeping an eye out.
Of course.
I'll step down.
Beck, I think if we talk to some of the others, we should see if we can get some more information towards figuring things out.
Right. No, I went over there with the express purpose of asking, but I got distracted because he seemed so sad.
Yeah. Okay. I can understand that.
All right, so who do you want to try next? The guy who's literally eating something the bartender called slop? Or the well-dressed guy? Which one of these might have more information on murders?
Yeah. I don't know that the well-dressed man would look. Might be okay with me, but one of you is dressed a bit nicer than I am.
He also seems a
Marcus.
little out of place here, don't you think?
Marcus, this seems like the perfect opportunity for you to shine. You're well-dressed, he's well-dressed. What more is there to it?
I would not want to disturb a man who's just trying to peacefully have a drink, though.
Fair enough.
Neri, can you give me a perception check?
I can. Let's see. Okay.
Neri's not wrong. He does stand out as being a little.
He stands out as much as we do. Let's see. I have to remember which one's perception.
I mean, if this guy's the sore thumb, I'm the sore thumb that's been hit with a hammer repeatedly.
Alright. Perception. Does this need to be blind?
No, this can be wide open.
Okay. Wow, that's my second natural one. I think I'm going to use one of my 3 hero
I was
points.
just about to say, you got 3 hero points. Let's use it.
Good gracious. That's a little better.
That's
That's
better.
2 ones. 2 ones.
I'll take that one over a natty one.
So you look at him. You realize who it is. This is Yargos Gil. Yargos Gil is Absalom's most famous military history expert. He's a cantankerous old Andorran scholar. His expertise has proved pivotal in defeating the Black Echelon.
Echelon?
Thank you. Black Echelon uprising 3 years ago. You know that he was a military adjutant to the great General Edge during the People's Revolts, and is the military genius responsible for many of the campaign's most ingenious victories over Cheliax.
And this guy right here?
Yes.
Alright. Neri's gonna walk up and just set herself in the chair right beside him. Hello there, Yargos.
Greetings. And you are?
Neri is my name.
Pleasure to meet you, Neri.
Your history precedes you, your reputation.
Thank you. It's sometimes difficult to deal with the fame, but I found that taking my time back to my roots allows to ground myself.
What would you be doing here other than getting back to your roots? Most people don't spend excessive amounts of time in the puddles if they can avoid it, after all.
Well, what many people don't know is I'm originally from the puddle. I lived in a puddle's tenement. I feel more comfortable among people here than I do necessarily with the social circles of adventurers and nobles. But he wants me as a party guest. It's not who I am or where I grew up.
Have you heard the rumors that have been going around?
I have indeed. It sounds like normal Puddles. Issues, though. Nothing that is new. In my younger years, murders like that would have been the norm. But then again, in my younger years, the economy would have been a bit better than it is now, and people wouldn't be in such an uproar about it.
Yes, that's the nature of corruption. It sort of sends everyone down the drain.
Indeed. And he looks over you. Grey Cloak. Speaking of, why would a Grey Cloak be here in the Puddles when the Ascendant Court has its own things to worry about?
It's a good question, but unfortunately I cannot share my business. You understand, after all. It's not my job to do the job of the muckrakers, but I'm looking into some things, trying to find some answers.
Of course. Well, I hope those answers are indeed found.
As do I. Do you know anything about the Skinsaw cult?
Only what I've read. They're not one for warring initiatives, and as such, my interactions with them or those that have fought them have been quite limited. I know they're vicious, heinous in many ways, and do much worse than many of the other, well, the other lower lives do in Absalom. I tend to stay away from them if I can. Others do the same.
This is quite fascinating how much of their existence is that of rumor. So much rumor per group that somehow causes so much damage.
True, but it's not surprising. Especially if they're working about in Absalom. They need to keep their secrets for what they do. Let's be honest, if they were ever caught out, the cult would probably go down fairly quickly.
Yes, it wouldn't hurt to root out the problem, though. They seem to have managed to get themselves wedged down in the cracks of the city, after all.
Let me ask you, is that why you're here then? To deal with the Skinsaw cult? I know you said you couldn't tell me directly, but I suppose if I ask a question, an answer wouldn't be too far off.
This is a peripheral task. It's not what I've been sent for on the primary. This is just something we've been asked to assist with today. Not my ideal job giver, but whatever information we can find is always useful, after all.
Of course. That makes sense. I do believe. Are you eating anything? Can I buy you dinner?
I appreciate the offer, but I prefer not to partake of foods that I have not prepared myself, out of all caution.
Understandable. Well, and he lifts up his mug. Cheers to you, and I do hope you find what it is you are searching for here in the Puddles.
I thank you. Let me let you back to your meal. And she sort of gives him a nod and steps away.
Wait, did you find anything out?
Nothing particularly useful.
Does he know anything about the skin souls or the goblins?
He knows things about what the rumors are about things, but he says they're no worse than the normal murders in this area, which is disappointing. Not the fact that he doesn't know things, the fact that murder is so common here that it doesn't stand out distinctively.
No, that tells me there is a systemic lack of leadership coming from the very highest point, probably coming all the way from the top in a way that is supposed to beat down the people of Absalom. Ooh, butterfly!
It doesn't help that the leader of this area on the council is also the captain of guard as well as the guild master of the guild. He has his finger in too many pies, so to speak. When one stretches themselves too thin, they cannot balance all the plates they have spinning. And it doesn't help that he likes to take too much money under the table, as I mentioned before. He prides himself, from what we've learned, on supplying people with the very best in the very worst sorts of things.
Oh, so he's really bad at giving people plates and pies, because he keeps his finger in all of them and spins the rest.
I do have to remind myself that metaphor doesn't work well with you, Beck. You're taking it well too literally.
Okay. Anyways, so we've lost one lead. The other one wasn't helpful. Gorak did his best. So we got a guy eating slop. Who wants to take this one?
As everybody kind of backs away. I mean, you don't have to talk to him. I just gave you some people to chat with.
I think we've exhausted the useful sources of information we have here. Perhaps we should focus on what comes next.
Next.
Well, do we go try to head towards Zuscut? I mean, is that gonna give us any information there?
Good.
I mean, so far we've gotten nothing here. I mean,
Indeed.
Just as a question, right? Do we know the symbol of the Skin Soul cult? Do they have like a mark that they leave places?
Well, I mean, there's stories of where it's happened to other places, but that was sort of unrelated to the normal activities here.
Right. I'm trying to get my mind around it. So on one side we have a Goblin King. On the other side we have literal murderers. And I'm trying to figure out how our dear Hagen did not put the murderers at the top of the suspect pool.
People tend to be judgmental of things they don't understand.
Right.
Or care to understand, I suppose.
Fair enough.
I imagine there's no small shortage of politics involved, vying for power and such.
Right.
Yes.
So let's I guess we go see this Oscar and we go make some friends.
Friends, indeed.
Keep an eye out for cultists.
Yes.
Come on, dog. Hop on, dog.
You guys can go ahead, head on out.
might as well.
The door's shut.
Dog, shut the door.
Terry, will we be taking a
Oh,
You will.
Seems
will.
like
As
we
soon
have
as I
some
say
friends
this
out
line.
here.
We
Oh,
may have
they're
made friends.
Oh,
Look,
sounds
Beck
like
may have
you've
made
been
friends.
asking some questions. No asking questions in the puddles. Now we're gonna have to take care of you, strangers.
By the way,
Bad.
if you could move Marcus for me.
I can do that.
You going to take care of us? That's proper nice of you. There's hardly a good place to get a nice bed around here.
I don't think that's what they mean, Beck.
Oh, okay.
And with that, we will take our one and only break of the evening.